Thank you for joining another edition of AARP Foundation Experience Corps in the community. I'm your host. My name is O.S. Owen, and I am the volunteer recruiter with the AARP Foundation Experience Corps. And we're constantly looking for folks to be volunteer tutors and mentors for kindergartners, first graders, second graders, and third graders in the Chicago Public Schools. And today we have in our studio the 100 Black Men. We have the official spokespersons for the organization. We have Carl Turf, and we have Curtis Cooper. Okay, I call him something else, but now we have to, get the right names out. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining the show.
Thanks for having us.
Now we've talked in length, but the first question I'm going to ask that is it a prerequisite to be a member of 100 Black Men to be an entrepreneur? Because both of you guys are stellar entrepreneurs. So do you have to be an entrepreneur to be a member of 100 Black Men?
No, you do not have to be. Now, we do have a lot of entrepreneurs in our organization, but you could be working a regular job, you could be unemployed, you could be retired, so you do not have to be an entrepreneur.
What do you do outside of 100 Black Men, Kurt?
I have my own company, speaking of entrepreneurship, Coop Marketing Group. It's a marketing and sales organization, but emphasis on sports marketing. So I bring sponsors to the sports teams. I used to work for the Bulls doing the same capacity, exclusively for the Bulls. I brought new sponsors to the Bulls for revenue, new revenue.
So you're the money man?
Well,
yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Okay. All right.
Yes, he is.
And Carl, what do you do outside of 100 Black
I have an
Men?
environmental consulting and technology company. So we specialize in energy efficient lighting and wastewater management or water reuse. And so we work with commercial establishments all over the city of Chicago and elsewhere.
So you guys are out here on the front lines making it happen in a field when you're self-employed. So you work by the sweat of your brow and by building new and strong relationships.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank you, and that's why we're here, and that's why we are partnering with you in building strong and new relationships.
Absolutely.
Now my next question is 100 Black Men. Is it only 100? I mean, what's the name? I see more than 100. Please tell us about.
Well, we actually have 133 active members here in Chicago. So the 100 is a symbol, So yeah, the organization is a all-volunteer mentoring organization, and what we do is we help African American males. We try to target from junior high through high school, and what we do is, in addition to the events that we do, we have mentoring sites. Right now we have 3 mentoring sites, one in Hyde Park Academy, one on 5100 West Harrison called The Bill, and south suburbs, at Oak Forest. So we have anywhere from 50 to 100 mentees there every Saturday during the school year. And it's not just tutoring, it's a lot of things, life skills, And so we take them out, we expose them things that they might not been able to be exposed to so soon. So that's what we do, and we do a lot more.
So
let's talk about the history a little bit.
Okay, well, yeah, is it in Chicago? Where is it? Let's give us some history.
So 100 Black Men goes back to the Civil Rights Movement. This is back in 1963, New York City. This is when they saw a lot of the inequalities going on, specifically around education. So you had men like David Dinkins, like Willie Mays, seeing that we got to do something about these disparities in the community. And they had a meeting. They had their first initial meeting. There were 100 Black men in the room.
Okay.
And that's how we came up with the name 100 Black Men.
Exactly 100 Black men in the room.
100 Black
not
men in the
99,
room.
not 102, it was
No,
100.
It was 100 Black men in the room. And when they had a discussion, that's where the name came from. Now for Chicago, we started in 1994. And it took us a while for us to go through and put all our paperwork together and everything. It took us about 3 years for us to have a chapter here in Chicago.
Okay.
But that's how it started.
Okay.
And we work on the educational enhancement of African American males in the city of Chicago.
So that's specifically what you do. And I want you to tell our viewing audience that what you guys do here in Chicago. And are you all over the United States? And let's talk up a little louder so they can hear us.
We have over 100 chapters. We're probably every major city in the country, as well as the United Kingdom and Turks and Caicos.
So you're outside of the U.S. of A.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. And we're looking to expand even more outside of the United States.
Okay, so Give me some more history.
So let's talk about Illinois a little bit.
Yes.
So there are 3 100 chapters in the state of Illinois. So you got us here in Chicago, you go into Bloomington, Illinois, and then also Alton. Alton actually has been around longer than we have. And they're downstate. So between those 3 chapters, we have opportunities to get together, talk about initiatives. One of the things we're talking about right now is the juvenile justice system, because we know there's issues in the juvenile justice system when it comes to mentoring, especially in the temporary detention areas. We want to figure out how we can put some of our programs in those facilities to help those young men, so when they come out of those facilities, they have a different mindset coming back into the community.
Excellent, excellent. Now, I know you guys do scholarship stuff. Tell our viewing audience what actually you're doing with our students and why it's important that you do what you do.
Let me just back up for a second. We're both board members, and I'm on the I'm a liaison for the resource development committee. So we look for donations, we look for grants, sponsorships, etc. Now, to be able to do that, we have to explain some things that we do to potential donors. We do the College Scholarship Fair, and we've been doing it for about 17 years.
And that's fantastic.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you.
fantastic.
Thank you. So we have about 200 recruiters there from all over, Morehouse College, UIC, Yale, and then we, with a relationship with the CPS and the parochial schools, we get the kids out there. Usually bring 2,000 to 3,000 kids would come and talk to the recruiters, and they show the ACT, SAT, GPA, community involvement, all that. Letters of recommendation, and within a half an hour, that recruiter could say, if you apply, you could qualify for $50,000. If you apply to the school, and that goes on for about 5-6 hours.
And this is at the college fair.
Yes.
This is at the college fair.
Okay. So give me a specific story about the college fair. I want our viewing audience to know some specific details. Give me a story.
Well, real quick, when you're doing the right things, when you have a parent that comes up to you, unsolicited, and it might not even be in the fair, it could be you be out somewhere, and they see our pen, and they stop us, and they say, I just want to say thank you. And you say, well, I don't know what you want thanking us for. And they said, I went to your college fair.
Ah.
And because I went to your college fair, my child received a full ride scholarship to X college. And if I had not gone to your college fair, I don't know what I would have done. That's when we know we're doing the right things.
Because the college fair is not just for the students. It's also educating and guiding the parents, right?
It's for the family.
It's a family event.
You
Yeah,
find in our
yeah.
college fair, you have parents that are coming back, not just one time, but with each child that they have that's growing up and going into school and want to go into college, they show up again. I'm bringing another one. I'm bringing another one. And we find money for these young people as much as we can. When you come to our college fair, we're like the HBCU of college fairs, because our men are on the floor. They're asking questions. What do you want to do? What colleges are you looking for? What kind of occupation do you want to have? We're helping the student and the parent to navigate on that floor so they know how to get the resources that they're looking for.
Okay, I see. So now, moving on. For our viewing audience, you're just tuning in, we are here with 100 Black Men. We are with Curtis Cooper and Carl Turf. Tut, is that right?
Tut.
Carl Tut. How do you be a member? How do you be a member of 100 Black Men? What's required?
Well, first of all, we do this, it's not all year, usually it's in the fourth quarter when we start taking applications. You have to be recommended by a current member. So I can recommend you, and then we'd do a background check, and you give us all your information, and then you come in for an interview. And the interview can last, anywhere from 15 minutes to 45 minutes. After the interview, then we score everything. We get together, we score, and we take who would qualify based on what they can bring to the table. Now, majority of the times, we get majority of the people we interview, but there's some that cannot make it. We say wait till next year, So it is intense. It can last all the way from the beginning to the end. It can actually last a couple of months. So we're very, I ain't gonna say discriminatory, but we're very careful because you're dealing with kids, and that's why we do the background check. We're dealing with kids, so we're very careful.
What are the ages of students that you guys are mentoring and tutoring?
We start as early as 7th grade
Yep.
and take them all the way through 12th grade. We have young people that have been in our program for up to 6 years. And it's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
I mean, the experiences that they come back with are phenomenal. And really, the real telling story is when the parents start talking to you about the transformation of their child, saying that before my child was involved with your organization, they were like this. Since they've been around you, they're more energetic, they're doing better in school, their grades are better, they're not missing school, they're involved.
Self-confidence is increased?
What we do is we try to instill more self-esteem, okay? Because we talk about them as a brand. Who are you as a brand? How do you want to represent yourself? We talk about presentation skills. We talk about the art of debating so that you know how to get your point across.
So now, this goes on in the weekly mentoring and tutoring at the various schools, is that correct?
Yes,
very
at
So-
our academy sites.
so your academy sites,
on
right.
Saturdays.
On Saturdays.
What Saturdays? Every Saturday?
During the school year.
Oh, during the school year.
From September through May.
So
During the
September
school
through
year. Around 9 to 2 p, they're there, So parents, you drop them off at there, if they can't drive or they drive themselves. Now, speaking of success story, there's a young man who's a popular rapper now among the millennials called Juice WRLD. He came from our organization. He went to Homewood Flousmore, and he was a mid-T at the South Suburban location. And so he went on and became successful. And then he hooked up with McDonald's, who supported him with some of his concerts. When he was coming to Chicago back in September, he said, I have to deal with, McDonald's need to deal with 100 Black men of Chicago. If we go on to Chicago, I want this organization involved because they changed my life. And so we put together a program with McDonald's. It was over a 45-day period, and the crescendo was at the concert, not far, right down the street from here,
Okay.
where we got a check presentation from McDonald's to 100 Black men of Chicago, and which was wonderful. And you had a lot of support from the members and the mentees, So that's a perfect example of how it works.
How it's the benefit.
Yes.
Oh yeah. And then we also have a motto about mentoring for a lifetime. So we had a young man that was in our program, went on to college, actually went to Morehouse.
Is that right?
Yeah, he's a Morehouse man. Graduated from Morehouse, came back to Chicago, became a member of the organization. So that's like full circle mentoring. So now he becomes a mentor.
Giving back, taking back. Now, so how are schools selected or chosen to be academy sites?
Basically, we're looking for locations where it's easy for our children to get to. Because when somebody sends us an email or sends us a phone call and they say, I got a son, I'm looking for some mentoring for that son, the first thing we say is, where do you live? Because we want to be as close as possible to where you live, so it makes it easy for you to get to us. Because our services are free.
Right.
One of my target communities is North Lawndale. So I've got some schools. So offline, let's see what we can talk about there, because the need is there. The need is great.
Yeah.
Just to talk a little bit about what we're doing together for our listening, our viewing audience. We are currently in the process of having 100 Black men be volunteers with the AARP Foundation Experience Corps program, where they're actually in the schools being tutors and mentors for kindergartners, first graders, second graders, and third graders. Now, in the past, you guys were working with 7th, 8th, and 9th graders.
Yes.
And now, as we talked about, expanding the brand. Now, why would this be so important to 100 Black men?
To
expand to kindergartners, first graders, second graders, third graders. I mean, you're working with folks now who are getting ready to go to high school, getting ready to go to college.
You got a lot of organizations that target, from kindergarten, first, second, third grade. We're trying to be specialized from junior high school to high school. We can't be something for everybody. So we figure if we laser focus on the junior high school through high school, we can do a lot better, more service, interact with their parents. And the CPS, we got a relationship with CPS that they tell their parents, about us, and then they send them to us, and they enroll, we register, So, no, we're laser focused on junior high through high school. But
Let's talk about what you said.
Okay.
So when you think about the school system in total and the teachers that are in the school system, less than 2% of teachers are Black male. And so they don't get a chance to see a black male in a school environment.
That's right.
And so when you see one of us coming into a school, and we don't have to even have on a tie. If we just got on a coat, and we walk into the school, everybody's ears perk up. Everybody's eyes start roaming.
There's a man in the school.
It's a man in the school. They want to know why we're here.
That's right.
And so if we have an opportunity to engage those young people, do some reading maybe, and that way it gets them to be comfortable with us and really feel confident that I can do that. It's what they see is what they can be.
Exactly.
I can do that.
And
How
when
are
you brought
students
that up-
recruited?
They come.
Are they recruited or they come on their own?
They come on their own. I mean, they come through on group chats, because once some of our mentees are in the program and they see what's going on, they got a good thing going on, they start chatting with their brothers, and all of a sudden more stuff, they start showing up.
So there's
Because
no
our programs
formal
are
recruiting
free.
process for
No,
students?
it's not
So
formal.
if our parents are out here in our viewing audience and they say, hey, I want my kid to be in this program, tell them what they need to do.
Well, you can start by going to 100bmc.org.
Okay, say it again. Look at our audience and tell them.
If you're interested, if your kid being part of the 100, go to 100bmc.org, and there's all the information is there about that and about other events. Please, 100bmc.org.
And let's be a little bit more specific on this too. So if you have a child that you're looking to have mentored, you send us an email at mentoring. It's at mentoring at 100bmc.org.
Okay.
We will get that email, and then we will start a conversation with you to find out how we can get your child in our program.
Okay. Now, those that want to volunteer with the organization, let's say I like the organization and I want to get a taste of it, how can I contact you and how do you use your volunteers?
Well, in a lot of cases, our volunteers come from coming to our programs. For instance, we have our holiday toy drive coming up on December 9th.
Okay.
That's an opportunity to see what we do in the community. This particular event we've been doing for 21 years.
21 years.
We-
Is there an age for the volunteers?
No,
So,
we want to be adult and have an
so
opportunity.
21 and
21
older.
over.
Well,
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But this particular event is a health and wellness initiative event. Because Christmas is a joyous time for most people, but for some it's not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a depressing time.
Yes.
Right, and you did mention that the holiday toy drive is going to be at the House of Blues.
It's going to be the House of Blues on December 9th.
Okay.
December 9th.
And if I
And
were to
it's
go
on, it's on a
to,
Monday, and we call
Okay.
it Making a Difference Monday.
is this information available on the website?
It's on our website at 100bmc.org.
100bmc.org. 100bmc.org. And for the mentoring again is?
Mentoring at 100bmc.org.
Now, what are the ages of the children that you're taking in?
We start as early as 12 years old,
And what grade would a 12?
so that would be like 7th grade.
7th grade.
Okay, so 12 on to,
On through high school.
and then after high school,
We help them get into college.
Yeah.
And then we keep up with them. Or we have other organizations that we partner with that have systems in place that can help keep track of them. But you'll be interested to know that a lot of our mentees, when they leave school, for their breaks, they come back to their academy sites and they talk to the other students that are there. And we love that because it becomes an opportunity to see what the transition is from high school to college. And they're very transparent about it. I mean, they talk about the bad roommate they had or how they messed up in school for a little while because, mom and dad's not around, nobody's telling them to wake up and those types of things. So they let you know this is the reality of what I went through in my first semester or so in college.
And then there's a percentage of the mentees who go to college, get their degree, get a job. They come back to be mentors, and we really like that because they went through the process. So we have events, fundraising events, toy drive. We have the gala. The gala, that's our big fundraiser. That's in May. It's going to be May 9th next year.
right? You got the all-white party or
The
something?
all-white
Yeah,
party,
yeah,
scholarship
all-white party.
endowment. Yeah, so
Okay.
the funds for that scholarship for the mentees.
And all this is available at 100bc.org.
100bmc.org.
Right,
All right.
exactly.
If you're just tuning in, We are here with 100 Black Men. We are here with Curtis Cooper and Carl Turk, and I am your host. My name is O.S. Owen. I'm with the AARP Foundation, and I am the volunteer recruiter, and we're all looking for volunteers. If you have the time, the capacity, or the desire, it's how are you spending your time? And spending your time engaging in our youth is the best way. It shouldn't have to hurt to be a child. And as we transition down this journey, we are in the positions to be guides, to be mentors, to be tutors. Come join us. Come spend your time with us. Now, I like that story. You had one, that the guy Juice WRLD, he graduated, he came back. You had another Morehouse guy, he came back. So how many folks are graduating from your program in a year? Can you give me a number?
It varies.
Ballpark number.
It varies from year to year, but in the last 2 years, we've had, I think last year we had about 27. This year we had about 25 seniors that have gone on to college.
And the impact of 100 Black men each year, about a minimum of 25 individuals leaving the program, going on to college with money in hand, with credentials in hand, and with the social skills of being a young man transitioning. That's phenomenal.
That is.
Now,
It
why
is.
is this such a secret in the community? We talk about who got shot. Why are we talking about who's part of 100 Black men?
We need to do more like this, CAN TV interviews with people like you to get the word out. You know?
Well,
Because the media doesn't focus on the good things. They focus on what's sensationalized. And we're not sexy and sensationalized. We're purposeful.
you guys are a national organization. You started when?
We started in 1963.
1963. So you've been around for a substantial amount of time. You're in every major city in the United States.
Correct.
And outside of the United States. So this tells me that the word is getting out. You know, now in your national, office, whatever, what's the number across the United States of 100 Black men?
As far as number of members,
Yeah.
we probably got about, I want to say around 6,000 to 7,000 men serving their communities the same way we are here in Chicago.
How powerful is that?
It's very powerful.
Men of color, taking it back, taking it to the streets, each one teach one, all the things that we signed up for and all the things that we have to do in order to build the village. And one of the reasons that I'm going to say this, the reason why the AARP Foundation Experience Corps is so interested in working with you is because of that. You're on the front lines. You're reaching out. You don't say no. You're finding individuals who are diamonds in the rough, and all they need is a little love, a little care, a little guidance. And the power of belief. When people believe in you, it changes your attitude. Now, in our program, most of our students that come in are 30,000 word deficit. And that's why we focus on fluency, is to get them to the point. Therefore, we're interested in expanding that reach.
That's why reading to them becomes so important.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of the gala, which again will be May 9th, 2020 at the Hyatt, it's a forum for the members and the mentees. We have tuxedos. And what we do, part of the program is some of these mentees with their tuxedo on, get on the podium and talk about their experience with the 100. So they get used to public speaking, know. And we do that every year, So the program is really for them. It's a fundraiser, but we show our donors why we need the funds.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask, what's your personal story? Why are you connected and involved in 100 Black Men?
Well, I was nominated by Craig Gilmore, who you know. I could belong to a lot of organizations. When I was working in radio, I was recruited to work for nonprofits. When I was with the Bulls, I was recruited for nonprofits. You only have so much time in a day. So I chose the 100 because I believe what they're doing, Because some of these kids that you see remind me of me when I was their age.
So you had a story
this is the
as well.
organization. I had a story. And this is an organization that I want to be part of and I want to help. And I've been a part of the organization for 10 years.
All right, what was your story?
So I've been a member since 2005. One of the reasons why I got involved is because I have sons. And when you have sons in this environment, this society, you want to have more voices around them than just your own. This organization allows for my sons to be involved and engage with other successful African American men so they can see not just me, but others, and it helps reinforce the things that I'm saying to them.
Excellent. So once again, what's that website for folks to reach out to you?
So you go into 100bmc.org.
100bmc.org to find out information about the program, the information about being a member of 100 Black Men. And if you have a child that needs to be mentored, what's that?
Mentoring at 100bmc.org.
My name is O.S. Owen, and I'm with the AARP Foundation. I'm the volunteer recruiter. And I got to give a shout out to our phenomenal, our stellar, our super fantastic producer, the Black Butterfly. He allows all this to take place. I want to thank our guests for making time in your busy schedule to come in and join us. And I'm going to say see you in the community with the AARP Foundation Experience Corps.